Oceanside rider while she rolling the herb. Tide sucking up on the curb. Got this feeling to splurge. My sole purpose is to give you the word. Write these verses with that murder ain't no relation to herbs. Switching lanes for that shifting. 2 5 shots, still grooving this pandemic. I just played the cards, I'm dealt confident with it. King taking over this shit, monstrous vision. Never temper thoughts, I came from poverty stricken. One day at a time, can't rush greatness. My mind like plush Dayton's. 27 laps in this bitch.
What's up, everybody? This is Alex from the Fantasy Flow Football Podcast, where we talk stats and facts to help you win your fantasy football league.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Flow Podcast. We are talking about everything today. Everything.
Big week.
Big week. Fantasy playoffs are coming soon.
Yep.
Listen, man, make sure that you are ready for that. Make sure that you're getting your sleepers, making sure that you're checking out your bye weeks this week. We're going to go over that soon. We got a lot of news in as far as waiver claims and pickups in the NFL.
Make sure your backups got backups.
Yeah.
Injuries happen.
Injuries, a lot of things going on. So let's just take it off. Odell's been in the news a lot.
It's getting annoying.
It's been annoying because it's like every week.
Same song and dance. We've seen this story before.
I mean, yeah, we don't know what he's gonna do this time around. But I mean, it's the reason I'm saying it. He's been in the news and it's annoying, like you said, because you're looking at this man literally every day. They're talking about who is he gonna go to, who is he gonna go to, and we just got the update today saying that I guess apparently he told Michael Parsons that he would be out until for the next 5 weeks and he'll be able to play during playoffs. So anybody playing with him, trying to get him to play for them, they're going to be playing Russian roulette because you're playing with this man literally your first game of the playoffs and you're just hoping that he's going to be all right. I mean, he could be learning the offense, but to be honest with you, he needs to get out there and be able to play. And I think that that's the holdup on a lot of people. Like Jerry Jones wants him. The Cowboys want him.
Isn't he healthy now? Is he really that hurt?
I mean, technically he's back to where he should be. Like I guess medically. But as far as like, is he gonna be able to ball out and play really good again? I can't tell you that for sure.
We don't know that at all.
Yeah, I mean it's a little iffy for sure.
I wouldn't take that. I mean, I don't know. If it was me, I would probably not pull the trigger on Odell. I just thing is he's gonna come back. Like you said, he might be looking at the playbook and learning the plays now, but getting on that field, running the routes, getting conditioned, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
To come in at the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, and then hoping that he does something, instead of just maybe focusing on getting 100% back to where he should be and starting on the team next season,
And me being an owner, GM, we're going to call it, I'm not taking that chance, especially on a multi-year.
So here's the caveat, right? So I guess it sounds simple in theory to just sign Odell. It sounds simple in theory.
It's because it worked for the Rams.
It worked for the Rams, but Odell he already took significantly less, and he wanted to basically prove it. He proved it. So the issue that he was having with the Rams, I believe, when they were trying to give him offers earlier in the off season, whatever, he wanted a number like Michael Gallup got. Because Cowboys basically took care of their own. He was up for a contract. Michael Gallup got his paycheck, and it was pretty decent, maybe around like 2019 mil. So Odell, in his mind, he knows he's not Julio, not Julio. He knows he's not Tyreek. He knows he's not Devontae.
JJ.
He's not JJ. He's not these guys that are getting the max dollar, right?
Right.
So at that point, he is willing to take a Michael Gallup size paycheck, which in theory isn't horrible. It's not horrible. But, I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He's been a tremendous receiver throughout his career. Injuries have been a problem. But now we're talking about a guy that basically wants about $20 million a year, and we haven't seen him play since he got hurt in the Super Bowl. And then for you to, I mean, if you're a Cowboys who want to make a run this year, that's a lot to play with. I mean, yeah, you can say down the line we're going to be okay because we have Odell on our team next year, but they're really good this year.
speaking on fantasy wise, I'm on the fence of I'm not gonna have him on my team, especially the 5-week thing. He's saying there's no point. So fantasy aspect,
Yeah,
there's no point in putting him on your team.
Yeah, basically, if you were trying to stash Odell, you might as well throw him away.
Yeah.
Because unless you're playing dynasty leagues, keeper leagues, things like that, and you have reason to believe that Odell is going to be that guy, then go ahead and knock yourself out. But if you're playing a redraft league, you need to let that man go because there's no point. You're wasting a roster spot. You're wasting an IR spot.
Put your assets somewhere else at this point.
Yeah.
yeah.
Switch over to his best friend Baker Mayfield, which is hilarious. It's real sad to see a number 1 pick go down the hills that he's going down. I love to see it because he's too arrogant, but at the same time, it's kind of just it's baffling, bro. The man was a number 1 pick. He had that one good season, but he did bring Cleveland back to winning games when he got there.
And they surrounded him with talent.
I mean, listen, when he got to that playoff run that one year, I can't remember exactly the year it was, but when he had that playoff run, you got to talk about the offensive line was great. You had to talk about Nick Chubb. You got to talk about Hunt. You had to talk about who else is the receiver? He had Odell was hurt.
What's the
Odell was
Josh? Did he have Josh Gordon for a little bit?
That didn't last long.
Okay.
That didn't last.
Another
long.
person whose name I don't ever want to hear again.
Yeah, Josh Gordon. The hype around him got to go away.
And then the tight end,
Hooper.
no,
Hooper was there for a little bit.
Nah, and Njoku was there.
Yeah, but it was Hooper and Njoku.
He was there at one point too. But Njoku, he had his issues with his health.
I mean, not even that. Let's talk about the defense for them. Their defense was dominant. So it's like when you're talking about your defense could do all the work for you, and then you just run the ball, and then you have Baker throw a deep ball here and there. You straight, bro.
Well, work, but Baker just can't get it together, man.
I don't know why these teams keep starting this man. Well, he might start this week.
I'm not gonna lie to you. So here was my thought process, and maybe I'm the only person who thinks this, but I do agree with some experts, even though I hate Skip because Skip don't make no sense. But this one particular thing he said, it kind of made sense to me. It's like, what did you expect for him to do in Carolina? Yeah,
he wasn't gonna save him after you traded McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's true. What did you expect for him to do in Carolina? So that's my only thing I agree with Skip on. But other than that, as soon as friggin' 49ers quarterback Garoppolo went down, as soon as he went down, I was like, you know what? If Baker's on waivers, I mean, I can see Kyle Shanahan taking that man and making him something.
Why not?
Just because they don't ask the quarterback to do a lot. But imagine like the intellect that he would like get into Baker. Because Shanahan's for real.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? That would actually be a good landing spot. And it was crazy when he ended up going to the Rams. Like I was thinking to myself, just because I saw the waivers and I knew that the 49ers were at the back of the waivers. So when I heard that the 49ers were at the back of the waivers, they didn't have a shot to get him. So if you're thinking about teams that need a quarterback, it's going to be Houston, who would have been stupid to just not involve him in the trade from a long time ago. So I guess Houston didn't want to look like they were stupid. So and the Rams, who just basically put Matthew Stafford on IR.
On IR. Because who's their backup quarterback before?
Walford and something Price?
Yeah.
I don't know these people.
Nobody do.
I don't know these people.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to go with somebody you know.
So in my mind, McVay is a smart coach. He can salvage a little bit of his season. He got like a little decent running back. Cam Akers is still there. The defense is still supposed to be good. You don't got no receivers right now, but at this point, you probably might be all right.
Yeah, I mean, their offense is getting smoked by all these teams that they're playing.
They can't offensively keep up.
I mean,
it's sad. It's surely sad, but I would say he could turn into a playoff darling for fantasy purposes.
who, Baker?
Yeah, you never
I don't
know.
see it, bro.
I'm just saying, it's in the realm of possibility. It's not me saying that it's a sure thing.
Listen, he ain't do it with the Browns. I don't see him doing that at all.
What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about like fantasy, like playoffs. I'm just talking fantasy. Like for fantasy purposes, he might have like a good 2 games.
Maybe a
Like, you know,
15,
because
20.
McVay might want to be like, you know, I can show that I can turn this guy into something, and he might show that Baker can show restraint in.
I just think that their offense is too bad for Baker to come in and then automatically just
You're right.
elevate that team,
You're right.
especially in the fantasy football playoffs. If you taking your chance
oh yeah,
on
if
Baker,
I don't know,
You-
something had to really happen.
you
So-
ain't make it all that way.
which is
doing stupid shit.
It makes a good point, and I wanted to pivot to this now that I just thought about it. Lamar just got hurt,
Yeah.
so
people should have scooped Huntley.
yo, I tried to scoop him up. Well, I got him in
did.
CBS.
Got him?
Yeah, Huntley's nice, bro. Because I remember when I had Huntley last year when Lamar went down. Believe it or not, this man was
He a
actually
baller.
putting up
But
points.
everybody say he looked just like Lamar.
Bro, he's
played
shorter
like
than
baller.
Lamar, and he does the same things. He's just not Lamar.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So
But Huntley, if you had Lamar, Huntley could save you. He might be able to salvage. Because I mean, the Ravens got some good matchups going into the playoffs,
Yes.
yeah. So I think that's gonna be real good
into
for
the
them.
fantasy football playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe it or not, if you're worried about drop off between, you know, whatever Ravens receivers there are, I would say that the one person that you would hope would not have drop off, and from my experience seeing Huntley play, he didn't give that person drop off, was Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews was still able to produce last year
Yeah.
with Huntley
Yes.
at quarterback, and he was producing good numbers. So I wouldn't be worried about Mark Andrews fantasy wise. Now everybody else,
With the exception of the running back.
exception of the running backs, everybody else, downgrade them all. I don't know if I could trust DeMarcus Robinson without Lamar, to be honest with you. He had a decent game last week, but do you trust that?
Nope.
Depending on the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
They
And
play a team that's soft on the wide receivers, then
it depends on what you need as a receiver, because we're talking about, at this point, if we're anybody that's actually worried about fantasy matchups right now, you're talking about playoffs. So
Right.
if you're a playoff team and one of your receivers is DeMarcus Robinson, you might be a strong running back team at that point, because I don't know. I don't think he's a playoff receiver that's contributing to those teams.
I think this week, whatever happens, give us a little bit more insight.
Yeah.
Because they play the Steelers this week.
Yes, the Ravens play the Steelers.
We'll see how that game goes. If it's not too hot, then yeah, you could probably bet, try your luck on just dropping them and getting somebody else.
Well, they're saying Lamar's only 1 to 3 weeks right now, so Lamar might be back the week after.
I mean, here's the thing though. Lamar is such a dynamic player with his legs, bro, and he injured his PCL. So I'm not 100% like sure about where and why the PCL is gonna hurt like that. But for a person that runs as much as him, and you know it's in your knee area, and which is your joint area, and all of that, it could cause up some stiffness. You know what I'm saying? And it could cause injury because he might try to overcompensate for it one day. So I would, if I'm the Ravens, I would be erring on the side of caution. So if I can see Huntley win 1-2 games,
Oh, if they win against the Steelers, you might as well keep Lamar.
if you could see Huntley win 1-2 games at least, if he wins 3 games, they're straight.
Yeah.
But if he could win 2 games, I'm keeping Lamar out for the rest of the season until playoffs. At least you can know that you did your best to get a healthy Lamar on the field.
Yeah.
Right.
As healthy as you can, yeah.
So I would agree with that. It pains me to talk about, but our beloved Finns took a nasty L.
F Debo, man.
What Debo did?
When he's here in the interview,
No.
he was like, I guess Mostert said something before the game, and then he was like, I thought we played against the most talented team. Oh, never mind. Yeah, F Debo, bro. He even do much.
For betting
Yeah,
purposes,
Debo,
I had
this Debo ain't the same Debo
Oh,
listen
from
exactly.
last season.
But for betting purposes, I have to tell my brother that 49ers are better than us just for betting purposes.
For betting purposes.
I bet the Dolphins were going to win.
Nah, man. We are better than the 49ers. We got
you
three.
don't
We
got to
got
tell
three
me.
O-linemen out.
You don't got to tell me.
The thing is, the 49ers, they are good against the run, and that's an important part of our game. So it kind of took that away. And
Listen, bro. This was Michelangelo against Master Splinter. All right,
That's the other thing too. Yeah.
that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
You got the head coach coming from who was over there in San Fran.
Yeah.
Now he's a head coach of the Dolphins.
he doing his
Exactly
thing.
what you gonna do, right?
He's doing his thing.
And
But when the master come through,
and then you got Tua was scared of Bosa. He was scared of that D-line.
listen, man, I
Which
think
I don't blame him.
I'm not. It's hard to be upset with Tua because I'm not one to tell somebody that a quarterback can't have a bad game. Quarterbacks can have a bad game. Tua has been literally balling for at least the last 5-6 weeks, right?
Yeah, from a
And-
fantasy perspective, he had an okay game too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when people were asking me, "Oh, you got beat by a third stringer?" No, we didn't. We got beat because Tua was off, and we got beat because that defense is real.
I'm gonna say we got beat by Mr. Irrelevant.
Nah, bro. I mean,
And he better keep balling out. 'Cause
Listen,
he ain't gonna do that to us.
listen,
Trash.
Listen, I'm
Sorry.
telling you right now. He made good plays. He
made
made good
good-
plays.
he
He's a
made
good
great
young
throws.
quarterback. Do you expect a good young quarterback, just good young quarterback, to take you to a Super Bowl? I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
no, you'll be shocked.
Obviously, Jimmy G did it, and he was really active in throwing the ball
Mm.
like that. But do you really think that the 49ers can get away with everybody knowing that you're going to try to just basically run the ball and screen the hell out of everything?
They're not gonna make it far.
They're not going to make it far, bro. Like, let's be real. You got the Eagles, you got the Vikings, you got Cowboys, you got the Bucks. I think the Bucks would even beat them now. But it's one of those type of things. I think actually they probably might be playing the Bucks soon.
Who the San Fran?
Yeah, I think they do.
Probably will. I don't know.
I gotta check the schedule.
I gotta check it, but I think they might be playing them soon. But yeah, bro. Tua had an off game. We're missing Armstead. We were missing Austin Jackson. We put Austin Jackson on IR. We just signed Jake Fisher.
Eric Fisher.
Eric Fisher, my bad. Not I'm thinking about Jake Long. Eric Fisher. Eric Fisher, for all purposes, I know as he's old and he wasn't picked up this year, but it does tell me something that if JT had the year that he had last year, we have to acknowledge that Eric Fisher was on that team.
Yeah. And honestly, he might still be a better blocker than Austin Jackson.
Right.
At the end of the day.
You got years of experience there, so I mean,
Exactly. And Armstead should be on his way, coming back, hopefully, because we know we need that one arm just throwing number one picks away. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. And Tua will come back there confident. And then he'll be like, all right, it's like, yeah, maybe the right side's a little weak, but I can work with it. You know what I'm saying?
ain't nothing better than knowing your line gonna protect you.
Exactly, bro. He came out there already knowing his tackles were gone, right? Imagine Tua going back into the frame of last year where everything was like he had to get everything out immediately fast because he was scared to get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
And-
he almost got hurt as well.
Yeah, exactly. So when that line is not 100% or at least close to 100%, especially at the tackle position, I would think any QB is going to be a little worried. I mean, let's put it this way: Tom Brady is having a issue with his line. It was it was an issue with his line from beginning of the season. I think he the Wirfs was probably hurt for a little bit. I think they're just getting him back. But the thing is, bro, it's like when you're looking at that, bro, like let's look at the product he's put out. The team is 6-6, and Tom Brady doesn't look like Tom Brady this year, but he does. He has his flashes. That's why they're 6-6.
Yeah.
But they've been losing real nasty games, bro. At least he ain't. I listen, for a person that has grown up hating Tom Brady, this year has humbled my hate. Okay, because I've gotten to see this man go through trial and tribulation, and it almost makes
On
me
and off the
respect him.
field.
It almost makes me respect him.
But we seen it on the biggest night of football 2 years ago at the Super Bowl when you had the Chiefs. O-line was out. Even Mahomes couldn't do nothing.
Exactly.
You need an O-line.
100%.
period. I don't care who you are.
100%. And the Bucks defense was crazy at that
Yes.
point.
Now just imagine this. Think about all the good quarterbacks in the league who could beat ballers.
Yes.
They just don't.
Have a line.
They play for a team that does not have the line. Think about how many quarterback careers have gone to waste playing for a team who got a sorry ass line.
Like you could just imagine Peyton Manning had the line that Ryan Tannehill had on the Dolphins.
Oh my god.
He be,
I ain't
He
saying
almost
he
did.
won't be good.
He almost
but
did.
He won't be as good.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Peyton
did.
was supposed to come.
Yeah,
he was
probably-
supposed to come.
Probably got hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, listen,
Your neck
I'm-
really would have broke.
Yeah, for real.
Low key.
He probably made the right choice 'cause I think we just got Adam Gase at that point.
Oh,
So yeah, I think that was good.
But touching on the Dolphins, though, from a fantasy perspective, let's talk about Waddle and that injury.
It's a little
Hip,
scary. Leg.
Hip
Hip
or
or
leg.
Leg.
Okay.
But they didn't specify, and I haven't gotten any updates on it yet, which makes me think it's okay. But at the same time, for a person like him, who's as fast and twitchy as he is, I think that's a little scary. That like, bro, he only had one catch, and it was like when he caught that one catch, it's like he was like, "Yo, I don't think I got it right now, bro," and it was a little worrisome. On the flip side, Tyreek is still going to do Tyreek things.
Now, let me ask y'all this. though. If Waddle is out, do you pick up Sherfield?
I think that he's actually solidified himself as a third. Because do we see Cedric Wilson?
No. Sherfield is above him.
Yeah, at this point.
Ever since
I would take Craycraft.
Game, we really haven't seen Cedric Wilson that much, and he muffed the punt that one game.
Cedric is looking like a waste of money, so he might not be there next
He has
year.
the talent.
He's
Sherfield took
young.
his spot. It is what it is.
Yeah, but Sherfield took his spot because he knows the system and he knows how to be a good receiver in that system.
Yeah.
I think that Cedric Wilson has pure talent. He just needs to get with the program essentially. So I think maybe we'll keep him next year, but it's a possibility he's not.
And I do think if they do have to rest Waddle, we can win the next game without Waddle. We still got Tyreek.
So if you without Waddle, are you picking Sherfield up?
I would take
For 1 week, if I have the spot, yeah.
if I had a spot because
Especially with bye week still going
he's
on.
hit Sherfield for 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he had 175-yard touchdown.
Yeah, remember? So the first play was Sherfield, and that was the touchdown immediately. The week before, he hit that dime in the corner of the end zone, and that man Sherfield got that thing. So I was like, "Yo, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all."
And when Waddle was out for a little bit, you got see Craycraft again. So it seems like they're going to start working more people in because you have to. Tyreek can't do everything.
But so, what is your idea of Brock Purdy, or what is it?
Oh, the quarterback?
Yeah, what is your idea?
Listen.
Do you feel like he can sustain for fantasy purposes? Do you think that he can sustain Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and McCaffrey?
The only thing I'm hoping is, and that's because I got Kittle. I'm hoping that he can do good enough where Kittle could get his receptions and get his yardage. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think he's not afraid to throw the ball. But as we've seen, he just kept doing handoffs to Debo, to the running back and stuff like that. But it seems like if he's not flustered, he's going to sling it downfield. Because when our D-line was rushing him, he was getting, lost a sack for less than 10, 12 yards.
And that's the other thing,
It's a
too.
rookie
If you,
thing.
from a fantasy perspective, if you want to look for that defense that's going to play against the 49ers, in general, going into the last week of the regular season and the playoffs, you need to be looking at those weak teams that where you can stream defenses because, from what I've been seeing, there's not really that many defenses available.
No.
Most defenses, really good defenses, are on somebody's team. So
A lot of people got 2 defenses this year too, in our league. So.
Annoying.
yeah, so you kind of got to look and see, especially looking ahead, looking past week 14, looking to week 15, 16, and 17.
Yeah.
If your playoffs go that far, what defenses can you get?
Yeah. And if you got a good matchup and that defense just happens to do real bad, it is what it is. You play the best thing you could.
You got to roll the
play
dice.
as much as you can.
I picked up the Browns last week because they had a good matchup, and y'all know what they did. Y'all know what they did.
You know what they did. Nah. All right. So let's just shift the gear into the fantasy playoffs. So like we said earlier in the beginning of the show, this is a little weird for me now. I mean, last year I guess I shortened it and maybe we didn't have a bye week issue.
Yeah, I don't remember having all these buys during playoffs.
I don't remember it last
Somebody
year,
extended
and I know
it. They
last year extended.
they
That was the
extended
first
it.
year, but
Yeah.
we didn't have a bye week in week 14 last
Yeah.
year. So this year we have 6 teams on bye.
Maybe the Bears,
I think about
the
maybe
Falcons.
There's a good amount of teams, at least about four.
At least four.
At least four. So point is that there's teams that are without key players. So if your playoffs start this week, pray because
And make sure your commissioner doesn't make this mistake again next
yeah,
season.
because the thing is, imagine going into your first playoff week not having Justin Fields and that's your QB1,
Which would
right?
have been me. And
Imagine
I'd
that.
have lost.
Imagine your running back one being Aaron Jones. You know what I'm saying? In the
Yeah.
playoffs. Imagine Christian Watson, who I think we're gonna discuss league winners, is one of the league winners in fantasy right now.
Yeah, if he a league winner, I hope I win in Casper League. Man.
Shoot, bro. I mean, hey, listen, I ain't mad at you because I got him in sleeper, so like he might win me a league there too.
Yeah, I was hurting at wide receiver, boy.
And he came through at the right time.
Yeah.
So so I'm just saying, in general, so there's a lot to be worried about when it comes down to the playoffs. So if you are a good manager, do the right thing, make sure that your playoffs start next week.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I started reading about, the CBS playoff setting and the whole play-in, which was a little weird to me, but I mean, at the same time, it was interesting. So basically,
Is it playing in our league?
bro, I'm on a bye week right now. You're on a bye week right now.
Because it's playoffs.
Because it's playoffs, you're gonna
Yeah.
be. What seed are you? Number 2.
I'm 2, yeah.
You're gonna have 2 weeks of on bye week,
They did that this year?
bro.
I think that's
So,
new. I don't remember.
bro. So basically 1 through 4 has a bye week.
Oh yeah, they did change that. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
5
made it
and
different.
5 and 8 and 6 and
It's like
7.
the NBA play-in. It's
Yeah,
weird.
basically. So basically now I'm on a bye week because I'm a 4 seed, right? He's a 2 seed. I'm gonna play next week. He's not gonna play, and then he plays the next week after that, and then after that is the championship essentially.
We voted that so more people get into the playoffs.
Which isn't like I'm not mad at it. It's interesting. It's one of those customizable league things.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at it, but it's
The thing with this league, one thing will happen one year and that probably gonna get voted off next year because somebody gonna get pissed over something. So it's
I mean, I'm in a league right now where we got 8 people going into the playoffs.
so 1 or 2 got to buy, but they got 1 or 2 buys.
I haven't looked that far, honestly,
okay.
but
they probably have to have 2 buys. It's probably a play-in.
let me see.
Which it just opens up chances more. Which if I'm 8, hey, that's cool with me. I
mean, yeah, exactly. If you're 8, ain't nothing wrong with it.
But
You're
if
just
you're
hoping
like
to get in.
5. Like, damn, bro, I gotta pay all these people just to get
Listen,
to the end.
Listen, bro. I don't play with bye weeks. All I know is I act on a bye week as if I'm playing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna pick up whoever's hot.
got to.
I'm gonna do whatever I need to do, and I'm gonna set it just to make sure that people know that if you play
No
me,
bye
this is
weeks.
what to play. No bye weeks.
Nobody got bye weeks?
Nobody.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's wild. so
Straight
no matter how
into it.
good you are, I mean,
Wild
I guess
Wild
that's what
West,
you
bro.
play.
So that's play. I start this week then or something. then.
No, I start next week, but ain't no
8?
buys.
So everybody just play, yeah.
Interesting. All right. But yeah, so I mean, there's different ways people do their playoffs differently. But make sure that you're locked in because I'm telling you, just like Kyrie said, make sure you stream your defenses, your kickers. A kicker could, bro. I've been seeing it for the past few weeks. A kicker has dropped 20 points,
Brett Maher, that man gave me.
and it's
like-
not only just him though. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
this is for
it's
the
plenty.
past few weeks, a kicker has dropped 20 points.
There's been weeks before these past few weeks where if you pick the right kicker that's playing against the right team, they'll easily put up about 20 points.
Yeah, exactly. So these are things that can help you win. Just make sure that you're streaming those type of players. You got to make sure that you're watching those matchups. Receivers, running backs. I mean, this is the year where people are. It's a lot of uncertainty this fantasy year. But this is when people's preseason predictions start coming true. Essentially, a lot of people were saying Leonard Fournette was going to lose this job from a long time ago, right? Which kind of sounded crazy to me in the beginning of the season because Leonard Fournette was doing whatever he had to do. It was kind of wild.
It's because of the off-season stuff. That's why.
Maybe. So my thing is, they get this new running back. He's nice. They like him a lot. And then what ends up happening? Nothing. Right? Nothing. Leonard Fournette's doing his thing, and then he gets a little nagging injury for a moment, and Rachaad White went off, and then he's been pretty consistent after that. So now they got two good running backs. So the thing is like it's the AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones effect. It's like when you start saying AJ Dillon is a good pickup, it's because sometimes around this time of the year, AJ Dillon's going off just because of an injury or because they're distributing
And the
properly.
hot hand transfers on the Green Bay for some reason. It goes from one to the other.
Yeah,
Every week.
so it's crazy, bro. So
Well, I mean, it was more significant last week because Aaron Jones got hurt.
got hurt.
in the
Yeah,
game.
true.
So
Which
Yeah.
down that
So which
road.
Yeah.
now raises AJ Dillon's profile when he comes back after this bye if Aaron Jones is still
Yeah.
ailing.
Would you say since Mark Ingram's out for the rest of the season, Taysom Hill's value goes up?
More than likely because I don't know what's going on with Kamara. He's killing me.
He didn't do nothing last week either. I know Taysom Hill had a touchdown and a little bit of catch, but not.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Kamara having a hard year, bro. It's a hard year for the Saints all over. Only bright spot on the Saints essentially is Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Shout out to the rookie, man. He
That man's
out.
balling. I didn't think he was going to be the most consistent rookie receiver. I honestly thought it would have been Dobbs or Pickens. Pickens is coming through too.
Yeah,
He's coming through too.
Yeah, he frustrated over there too.
I know, but I mean, he gotta give it some time. He gotta give it some time, bro. He's a good receiver, and he's giving me Brandon Marshall vibes, but probably a little bit faster. You know,
And I will say with playoffs starting, if you on this Mahomes is my quarterback no matter what, you might want to just have a second quarterback now, no matter what, because you never know your best quarterback. You might have the best quarterback. You might get hurt. Josh Allen might get hurt again
listen,
during your playoff push.
I'd have Lamar, and I lost last week in CBS, and it hurt. And then I was like, dang, I don't got no quarterback for next week, so I just picked up Huntley just because I mean Lamar may be out for a little bit, so I'm just gonna run with Huntley. But I'm very glad that I picked up Justin Fields.
Yes,
That was
me too.
that was a
I
Listen,
think you too.
I got him.
All
it was
three
a
of us got him
beautiful
in one
feeling.
league.
Yeah.
I got him in
See,
two
I
leagues.
drafted Justin Fields as my backup QB,
And to my point again,
and he didn't really
preseason.
do anything at first. It was only a matter of time though, and they finally started passing the ball a little bit more and letting him do his thing. And sure enough,
I drafted Justin Fields as my backup QB too, and I had Trey Lance as my starter. So until Justin Fields started doing what he's doing, I just been streaming quarterbacks.
yeah, that Trey Lance situation is tragic, boy. Tragic.
Yeah, you hate to see it. But I would definitely say that Justin Fields outperformed his ADP.
Oh yeah.
Not only did he outperform it, but he proved a lot of people right. And all it took was for the Bears to use their common sense and just open up the playbook and be like, bro, go play football, bro. Like, if the play breaks down, get out of there. We know you're young. We know you have the speed. The man ran a 4.4. Like, it's not like he's a slow dude. And he's tall. He's a good sized quarterback. I remember watching him play. Was it Alabama or was it Clemson? Who did he beat? I think he beat Clemson in the right before he went to the national championship, and he probably lost. He lost to Alabama. So he was playing Clemson in the round before, and they cracked his ribs, bro. And I said he couldn't come back, and that man came back and he balled still. And then he could only do so much in that national championship game against that Alabama team. I mean, that was Mac Jones. Jalen Waddle wasn't playing, but that was with Devontae Smith, Brian Brian Robinson. A
You
lot
would
of
say
them.
50 Cent?
I was about to say 50 Cent. Yeah. But yeah, trust me, bro. That John's crazy.
But yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on in the playoffs, man.
But so I mean, as far as league winners go, who do you guys have? Like, do you have some kind of people in your mind who you think is like a truly? I said Christian Watson is a league winner in my opinion. I read some other people said like Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's one.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to say they think that maybe the Jets running back can be one because he came through and there's no tape on him really.
Yeah, you talking about Breece Hall or
No, not Breece Hall.
the running back right now.
I can't say this man.
Oh, I gotta see more.
Something Knight, but he's gonna be straight though.
Mine for sure is Justin Fields. He's
Justin Fields is
saving me in your league.
Yeah,
And I was gonna say Damian Pierce, but I don't know where he's been at.
he's kind of fell off.
Ever since he played
came
us.
through. He came through a lot, but
In the beginning, he's balling.
He fell off a little bit. Who else is? I mean, Justin Jefferson's doing his thing.
JJ, man.
He's doing his thing.
I really don't know, man. I mean, there ain't no league winners on my teams, so
No?
I don't think.
Just solid all around, pretty much.
I mean,
Who
Fields,
do you
I
have
gotta
on
see
your
what the matchups looking like for him going into the playoffs if they're good.
Yeah, but he's been consistent last 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I gotta
but-
get that to him. He's carrying my team, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know,
definitely say
man.
Fields.
maybe Hurts.
Hurts
Hurts
is
is
definitely
balling.
one of them.
Yes.
He's
If he
definitely
stay healthy,
outplayed.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll carry your team all the way because he gets multiple touchdowns a game.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, he is solid.
Terrence-
Yo,
Terrence
I'm
Solid.
telling you now,
Respect
anybody, but you remember every single analyst, every just
They was
like,
trying him.
bro, they are all were saying fade him, don't pick him up early. Imagine though, like the person that got Josh Jacobs like literally probably 5th round, 6th round.
It ain't gonna be like that next season.
Oh no, he going top, bro. He going top. Because the thing is, like I and you know, I feel like it's good that he did it. Because I'm like, good for him. Because the Raiders are idiots. I don't know who is their GM? Like, because here's my thing. The reason I'm asking that is because you declined his 5th-year option because you didn't want to pay him about like $10 million or
They
something.
didn't think he
like that.
deserved it though.
This man came into the league balling.
He did.
Is it just like, oh, because you came into the league balling, we're just gonna go move on to the next person?
They think they could keep recreate like
They're idiots.
type stuff.
Somebody's gonna pay him, and he's gonna have an extra year of good years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, true.
And he's still gonna be good. He's young, bro. He had, like, what's his injury history? It's nothing like an ACL, other than when he
Crazy.
came out of college, maybe.
Yeah, but nothing crazy in NFL at least.
That's a beautiful thing when you draft a running back that will play through the entire season.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
It is. Aaron Jones' longevity is pretty good too. Yeah, knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Because Lord, I got Christian McCaffrey. Okay,
This
Oh yeah.
and he's surviving.
he's surviving. But yeah, Aaron Jones is another one. I mean, he gets hurt, but he'll be out for like maybe a game or two.
He comes back.
Right back.
Dalvin too.
Dalvin Cook, yeah.
Bro,
Another one.
I was scared of
Shoulder
Dalvin,
hurt,
bro.
this
The
man,
man,
wrap it up.
That's it.
every year is the shoulder.
Yeah.
Every year he gonna do something to that shoulder, and he just comes right back. I'm like, bro, how hard are you hitting?
Another one I would say is Nick Chubb, man.
Nick
Chubb
Chubb is
Chubb
solid,
consistent. I got him
solid.
1 year
1 year.
when he was nobody. He wasn't on anybody's radar, and I think what happened? Somebody got hurt.
Who was in front of Chubb?
There was somebody in front of Chubb.
There was
Somebody in front of Chubb. He got hurt. That player got hurt, and everybody went and picked up Chubb because I think the game before that, this man had like 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, because they knew he was
And-
good, bro. It's just like I don't know. I can't remember who the Browns had, but I don't think they had Kareem Hunt yet.
it
Trust me.
wasn't Hunt. It was somebody else.
Yeah,
Couldn't have been Hunt.
It was somebody else, man. Who was it?
I'm gonna I'm gonna go look it
we'll
up.
think about
But
it.
that's a good question. But yeah, dog. Those boys are solid and they're consistent. They get you those things. Those are always the people that you want to look for. So it's like, I think somebody that can turn into a league winner right now is DeAndre Swift. I think that he's turning the corner in that injury.
I
whole
just
thing.
got an update today that said he
he was limited or something.
He was limited for something.
Lord
Ankle,
have mercy.
I think it was his ankle.
Lord have mercy.
God, every
Like
week,
the
man.
man scaring me, bro. Like I got him in multiple leagues.
Bro, in my work league, I got him and I have Williams. So it's like I just being safe
Yeah, I
and
mean,
starting Williams.
Williams-
You could start
you gotta
Williams.
start
You could start Williams every week, and he guaranteed to get something.
Because he had the most touchdowns for running back.
He'll get you 9 to 10 at least.
At least,
You're going to score once, it seems, every game.
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I was kind of happy with that. But
But yeah, Swift, man, his potential is so high. Like the ceiling is high. You know, he should be having games where he get like 30-something points
yeah.
off the receptions and the rushes, and I don't know. But we'll see.
All right. Oh, funny topic. I love talking about them. I don't like them, but I love talking about them.
What you talking about?
The Jets. I'm not going on a rant again. I'm not going to even say it.
Hey, for everybody that picked up Elijah Moore thinking he was gonna do something, sleep.
Oh man.
You don't just them numbers was too low for the majority of the season for this man to just automatically start getting looks. And he opened his mouth up and said
Yeah.
something.
Still ain't getting nothing.
Bro, he had one game. He had like what 16 points in your league.
Yeah, it was a good game because and to be honest with you, that 16, 15 points he got, he only had 2 catches.
See,
So he just made the most of one good catch. But I mean, the talent's there.
the talent is there, and they need to start trying him.
They need to stop trying him.
Send him to another team, please.
You get some for him, bro.
Yeah.
The talent's there. But what I have to acknowledge is that I was asleep on Garrett Wilson. I have him,
was too.
but I was asleep on Garrett Wilson. One, I was asleep on Garrett Wilson because he went to the Jets. Off rip, I was asleep on him. I was also asleep on him because I was like, I didn't really like the Ohio State receivers, bro. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. The reason that I was skeptical about him is that he reminded me of like a Stills or a Deshaun Jackson. They're small. You know what I'm saying? They're speedy, but they're small. But obviously he's a little fragile too, but he's doing his thing.
I
right
mean,
now.
Ohio State players typically tend to do well in the NFL.
They do. I'm just saying when I compared to the receivers that were coming out, like the top receivers, because you got to think there was Drake London, there was who else was there? Jameson Williams, but he had an ACL, so we have yet to see him really do anything yet. But he was a top receiver. And then I guess who else? I don't think there was too many that went in the first round, right? No. But yeah, so basically after that, you start thinking about the Christian Watsons. You start seeing Romeo Doubs. You start seeing Treylon Burks. You start seeing all those type of guys, and I just felt like the talent, like Drake London to me was a good prospect because he's a big receiver, big hands. He could catch. All he has to do is work on his routes, maybe get a little faster.
Yeah.
And I think Drake London would be a real problem. But when it comes down to it, Garrett Wilson just balled out, bro. Like he had that one giant game, and then he had like good games after that.
Yeah.
Had another really, really big game.
They're not running back heavy as they were before.
I mean, they can't be because the running backs ain't that good.
Everybody get hurt.
You know, Michael Carter, man.
I'm holding on hope.
I still got him on my bench.
I'm holding on hope.
He
I want to drop him so bad.
So
can't
bad.
though.
I
'Cause
can't.
it's like,
I know you're gonna come back, and you're gonna be the one that's gonna vulture these touchdowns.
Yes.
yeah.
When Brees Hall's there, he was still balling. So
He
it's
wasn't
like-
even.
He wasn't balling.
He was just getting
some
touchdowns.
games
but
he was balling.
He did
fantasy
good,
wise.
He did good enough.
No, he wasn't balling.
He's a
He
great
just took
flex
Brees Hall's. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. They
Brees Hall got us
disrespect.
there.
They disrespected Brees Hall.
I
That's
remember
why-
that game too.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, Brees Hall was the guy that would either. I feel so bad for Brees Hall because not only was he carrying the Jets, and not only was he getting them to the red zone, but if he didn't score that thing on his own during one of those big plays, he wasn't getting nothing, bro. Because they would just go, all right, Michael Carter, come right here. And Michael Carter's like, oh, let me get this touchdown. And when you come in there, and that's when they beat the Dolphins, right?
Yes.
And check me out.
They both balled
He
out.
decided that he wanted to do the waddle. All he did was stand at the goal line and run in, bro. You want to waddle, bro? You ain't do nothing.
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter
man.
did that?
Yeah.
Fuck Michael Carter. Disrespect.
I don't like Michael Carter for that, bro. Trust me. And I'm holding on. I hope that he could just give me something.
I mean, I'm gonna have to look at my the schedules for the next few weeks and see whether or not I'm gonna even be starting him. Because I mean, if I'm not gonna be starting him, I might as well cut him loose.
True.
I mean,
But you don't want to give him to somebody else. That's the next thing.
it depends on your team. Like my team's not running back heavy, so I gotta keep. I might as well just keep him.
Yeah. I would say another person on the Jets that kind of just had recent success, and it's kind of, I mean, he had injuries this year, so it makes sense because he was doing it last year. But Corey Davis is he showed Corey Davis things. I mean, I still to this day think Tennessee. That's why, you know what, Tennessee lost their GM. They fired their GM for a reason. All right. How do you let Corey Davis walk out because you didn't want to pay him? I don't even think the Jets paid him a whole lot of money. How do you trade AJ Brown and then say we got Treylon Burks? Okay, you got Treylon Burks, he's cheaper. But you also got rid of Corey Davis, and then you went and got a recovering Robert Woods.
Yep.
And you got to remember that Robert Woods was used to Jared Goff that was pretty decent on the Rams. And Robert Woods was used to Matthew Stafford that could get him the ball when he needed it at the same time. Even though Matthew Stafford was dick riding what's his name? Cup.
Triple Crown.
Yeah. That man just cup.
Yeah.
Cup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even matter. And then basically he had Ryan Tannehill, and it's like, I don't like trashing Tannehill, but Tannehill isn't really that guy.
He's not
Nah.
the
He's
best
not
thrower.
really. He's not a horrible
He's
quarterback.
as good as the talent he got around him.
Exactly. So it's like he had a thing with AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? He had an actual connection with AJ Brown. So it's like when you took away AJ Brown because you didn't want to pay him. So they traded him. And my theory of the reason why the GM got fired is because those Philly fans was out there flicking him off,
Yes,
cussing
sir.
him out,
Yes.
telling him he's stupid, all that stuff every single time AJ Brown scored.
At the same time, saying thank you.
Exactly. Like, bro. And when you're getting that type of heat, bro, because you made a decision like that,
Hey, sometimes you think you got it and you don't.
listen, bro, it could have been Greer.
Yeah.
Greer looked good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greer looked good now, boy. I'm glad we got rid of Flores and not Greer,
Yeah. That's true.
because it could have been the other way around.
That's facts.
It really could have. But yeah. Anything else y'all boys got on y'all mind, bro?
Nah, man, just playoff time. Start the best people you got. Ain't no time to take chances. You got to go with who's consistent.
Check the
And
matchups.
keep looking at the waiver wire.
Kyrie,
I don't
bro.
care if you got a bye week or what.
I think when I stopped watching or listening to Fantasy Pros,
Listen,
started
bro,
winning.
I stopped listening to them.
I had listen. Every game I lost is because Fantasy
'Cause you-
Pros
'cause
told
you
me to
watched
play
it,
those
man.
players.
Listen,
You know
man,
what's crazy? I haven't really used them that much this year.
No,
I'm in the playoffs all my
I
leagues.
use their resources, but I
Yes.
don't listen to their,
Yeah, the
their
waiver
their
advice?
start /
Sit 'em
assistant.
thing.
It's horrible.
I
They're
don't
killing
use
me.
it.
They killed me.
I start looking deeper and I use some of the stuff that they have on the app. But Fantasy Pros, y'all need to get it together, man.
Because y'all had me out
Y'all
here
got
in-
people paying money.
Y'all had me in 12.
And
all right,
not
12.
working.
You got people paying money, man.
Paying money for this. And
You
y'all
got
like-
people paying money, bro. What y'all doing? Like,
Why am I losing?
why am I losing? I should not be losing.
You are
I
the-
should not be making better decisions than y'all when y'all got like 100 analysts on y'all app.
When your name literally says pros,
I must be a pro then because I done made some better decisions than them.
Exactly.
killing me, dog. Follow Fancy Flow.
Facts.
Plug. Get that plug in there.
But yeah, the matchups. What else? Handcuffs if you need them.
Yep. Get the backups you need if you know somebody's questionable they're gonna play. They might actually get hurt.
Yeah, the kickers and the defenses are clutch. You know, you might have a matchup in the playoffs where some of your starters, your starting running backs or wide receivers might not do well, but your kicker might get 15 points.
Yeah.
Your defense might get 20 points. And then boom, they'll be the reason that your team wins.
Stream the best available tight end with the best matchups because everybody knows tight end is shit this year.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, there's been some good tight ends out there. Like tight ends that went way later
Then they should have.
than they should have. And then there's some guys who should have gone late and actually turned out to be ballers. You know?
And you got the Denver Broncos tight end put up numbers.
Wait for why.
Yeah. What's his name? Dirt.
Dulwich or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they trash. So
Yeah.
but he's putting up
Putting up
okay
good numbers.
man.
So, I mean, it was some gems. We'll have to see what happens next season, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be a little bit more consistent. I think we're going to have equilibrium in the league. I think we'll have there's going to be some shaky situations quarterback wise,
Yeah.
and because people switch teams, so there's going to be a little bit.
A lot of them older players are starting to disappear.
They're starting to
and
disappear.
the new era of players are starting to come into the fold.
Exactly.
A lot of young wide receivers.
Believe it or not, Alvin Kamara is an old running back now.
He really is, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the
So
times of him balling the hell out, receiving and rushing. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to come to a close, or maybe it's just the Saints. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna blame it on the quarterback situation over there, but we'll
That
see.
too.
But
I blame Jameis. You know he's not playing.
you can't blame the man. for playing
Listen, that boy Jameis was hurt.
He is hurt.
That man said, I mean, what he said. He expect to be.
You talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel him a little bit, but at the same time, I don't. You know,
I will say I don't think Olave would be doing what he's doing if Jameis was playing.
I don't know, bro. I don't
I
know.
think Olave would have been perfectly fine. I think he's
He too good of a receiver.
he's a deep threat receiver on
Right.
the whole.
Jameis could throw.
Yeah,
Oh,
he gonna throw a pick,
I mean,
but he also gonna throw a touchdown.
I mean, Andy Dalton, bro.
I'm saying though,
Andy Dalton ain't no better.
Listen,
I ain't say he was good either. I don't like
Yeah.
neither one of them. Thank God the Dolphins got neither one of them.
boy.
That's all I gotta say.
The Saints, but don't worry though, because I'm telling y'all now, there's a number of quarterbacks coming out next year. They're gonna be nice, yo. Ohio State's quarterback, Bryce is coming out. I don't know. There's a couple other ones as well. I'm not sure if the Tennessee quarterback is coming out, but he's real nice too. But we'll see. I'll look into it a little bit more. But trust me, once those guys come out, some of these teams like the Falcons, the Saints, Panthers, who else is there that needs a quarterback? The Texans, because the Texans are actually building something. It's just that they need a quarterback to actually steer that. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions went and got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because you can probably get Jared Goff off to somebody who wants at least a veteran and will pay his salary, and they can get them a thoroughbred quarterback, nice running. Imagine
Colts.
Colts need one
Colts,
too.
yeah.
Colts need one too. Because imagine, I'm just saying, think about it. When you got a team with like C.J. Stroud or Bryce, I don't want to call him Petty because it's not his last name. I don't think it is. But either way, Alabama's quarterback. If you get one of those two, that's because those are the top two for sure in my mind. If you can get those two on the team, bro, and you could, if you're the Lions and you have Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and DJ Chark and Reynolds, and just good people,
Yeah, to surround him, yeah.
and the line is actually good, I'm telling you, that defense just has to get better. Once that defense gets better, I mean, believe it or not, they actually have a decent record right now. Like they have a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, they ain't Houston, so.
Yeah.
So I mean, they may not get the top quarterback. They may stick with Goff, but they may not.
Yeah.
We gonna see though. Fantasy playoffs. they're gonna stress you out and you're gonna lose some money or you're gonna win some.
Hopefully, you just get your money back.
Hey, listen, that's the other thing. Pay your money.
Yeah,
Pay your money
Pay the money.
for sure.
I know I need to pay mine. Did I pay you yet?
Nah, it's okay.
Yeah, I gotta pay it too.
I gotta
I'm about to
pay.
pay you right now. Actually,
I was wondering because I was like, did they pay?
I don't think I did. Yeah, I gotta check the thing. But what is that all for the topics? Pretty
Yeah,
much.
we
I got
good.
one more thing. How y'all feel about Deshaun's performance?
He need to get his legs.
His legs. He's been out for a while. You think if you're struggling at quarterback position fantasy wise, would you start him over like Trevor Lawrence?
For next week? No.
No.
Who do they play next week?
I don't even know. I just wouldn't start him right now. I would. Here's my thing.
I mean,
I feel like this is a 3-week process. I think by week 3 of him playing, he's going to be Deshaun-like.
it depends on the matchup, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I have to look, but I think they played the Bucks maybe.
I mean,
But
the thing is, Donovan Peoples-Jones is balling,
Yes.
and
he's doing his thing.
you know the run game's still good.
Mm-hmm.
Both of their tight ends are healthy, right?
Is both of them healthy? I don't know. If they both.
Is Njoku healthy?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they got Harrison Bryant, who's
And
pretty
Joku's
decent.
coming back. He practiced this week.
So I mean, and then he still has his legs. You
Yeah.
know,
How was I didn't get to see the game. Was he throwing decent? Deshaun.
I didn't watch that one, but I know that it was looking really. It was
Oh, they
looking
played the
real bad.
Bengals.
Bengals. Oh yeah, they're playing the Bengals.
Yeah, in
So-
Cincy.
So yeah,
you know what's,
it could be a good game.
and you might have to cut this. And if you feel like you need to cut it, cut it.
What is it?
But man, what's up with them women going over there to watch the game? First game that Deshaun played.
What those crowded for women?
Some of the victims that
No,
came to watch the game, bro.
I didn't even know this.
I didn't know that either, but
Listen, bro.
Some of the victims. So wait. So you talking about some of the victims on that list went to the Cleveland Brown Stadium and watched Deshaun Watson first game.
Yeah,
listen, bro.
This is
went to the game, bro.
It's-
This is America.
This is a social media era. This is a time. Not saying that this is some social media type of thing, but it's just when something like this is happening, there's going to be coverage. It's almost like when Kyrie got in trouble and he had the Jewish people at the courtside, and they were basically just like wearing and say no to anti-Semitism things. I think it's something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just
publicity
it's
stunt type
I
stuff.
want to say it's a publicity stunt because obviously they went through what they went through, but I think that when people realize that the man
That's my thing, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but what you doing?
Who's the dude that the doctor dude that he be coming at all the women that be going interviews with him with the guy that passed away?
Oh, you talking about our dog, man.
People be like he be bashing women, but he be saying something to men too on the
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin Samuels.
Kevin
He
Samuels.
looking down that stadium, bro, like this is the problem.
Bro,
This is what I be talking about. Like, come on, man.
I just thought that was odd to me.
It is odd.
Like,
No, we keeping this. I ain't cutting this out.
why would y'all go watch this man play?
And you're the victim.
Exactly. Like,
Cause I mean, if I'm trying to answer the question, I would think that it's just more so on the fact that it's like it's to show that they're there and they're always like they don't agree with the fact that he's playing and he's getting millions of dollars. I mean, though it's a lot of optics when it comes to Deshaun Watson that are really bad.
but this is my thing though. I maybe I haven't looked into it yet because I heard about it I think maybe on the radio or something yesterday or last week. Was there signs? Did they hold signs up?
I haven't
Like-
seen anything about this, so I don't know.
I think when I heard about this, they said they was gonna be in the box. So like,
Oh, if they're in the box, then I don't really
Like,
understand what it is.
y'all not even in the crowd. Y'all ain't got no signs.
you know what'd be crazy?
Yeah, that makes no
You know what'd be
sense to me,
crazy?
man.
If Deshaun had Kanye mentality, he would have bought them tickets.
Bruh.
Let's be honest.
Bruh.
I'm dead.
That just, I don't know, man. That's
Yeah, if they were in the box, then I don't really kind of see the point. It's not like they were going over there to go meet him downstairs. Like they're not going to go over there and be friendly with the man. So
Right.
to be there at the game and get a box, is it just to say that hey, we're here, or is it just to be like, Like I don't know what the greater purpose of it
Y'all
is.
love football. Y'all Cleveland Brown fans. Like,
Maybe they are. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because
it could be that, I guess. But
Because at the end of the day, you got to remember, I don't know. Maybe he was going to multiple massage parlors across the U.S. I don't know if he
Nah,
has
hell
people.
nah, bro. Ain't no way this man was doing stuff with Cleveland Browns fans before this man ended up
I'm
in
just
Cleveland.
saying, I don't.
Them
know.
women was from Texas, bro.
I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, I don't know.
oh man,
Maybe I don't got the answer, Sway.
But man, listen, if you wasn't stepping with no signs or nothing. Y'all ain't have a chant. Nothing, bro.
Y'all end up getting unlimited drinks and
you
food.
should've-
What is
That
in the
can't be-
box?
I look
In the
inside.
box,
Man,
son.
that's crazy.
What y'all doing?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's a little weird to me. That's a little weird. On that note.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Flow Football Podcast. Make sure you tune in for more fantasy football analysis. Like, subscribe, and follow for more content.
Embedded the drive, can't stop going. Catching all these blessings, open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing. Embedded the drive, can't stop going. Catching all these blessings, open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing.